This may be a first. I don't think we've ever begun a show with you actually wearing an oxygen mask from an airplane. And what did you do? Did you actually, while you were on your last flight, did you get up there with a screwdriver and pull it down and pull it off?
No, one of my friends was from a while back was a stewardess,
Yeah.
a flight attendant. Matter of fact, Peg gives me a
I
hard time all
apologize
the
for
time.
interrupting. Did you remember to do whatever you were supposed to do to make it go out?
Oh yeah, thank you. I better do that.
Make it public. We'll start it
Well,
over.
well, no, we can't. When that happens, it doesn't let me change it to public till we go live,
Right. So
and
change it to
then
public and then put the mask back on.
well, well, no, they can see us. We just can't see their.
Can't
We
see their
can't
comment.
see their. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I'm changing it now.
How
The
big?
oxygen mask. She bought me that. That was Esme Polinsky. She was my manager at Curves. She got it for me because she knew a stewardess, and I was using that during speaking engagements.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, my
yes.
apologies to you and to all of the people who watch the show either live or when they're watching the recording because I am not in uniform tonight. I am not in my standard Tommy Bahama shirt. I'm in a t-shirt and I'm out here at our ranch and I've been on the tractor for a little bit. And that's why it says Green Acres, Jeff Green Acres West, because I feel like I should break out into song and say, Green Acres is the place to be. But I'm afraid we'll get in copyright trouble. So
For me. We all know that's
land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside. So.
Yeah, did you see? So I put this in the group, and somebody put, "Now I want to see you make an example of the miniskirt rule." Like, nah.
No, they picked the wrong one. They should have said the naughty rule.
Well, I think we see me be naughty every day, practically. I think that's a given, right?
Yeah. Speaking of, have you been in trouble on anything the last week, 2 weeks, whatever it's been?
Yes. Well, it's not that I'm in trouble. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know if you've had this happen to you, but when you worked for Aflac, let's just say Aflac corporate had some news that even it might not have been about them, but it had their name in it or whatever it was, and it wasn't a positive thing.
Right.
Did you go around and tell all your customers about it?
No, never.
No. Did you? Right. Well, see, that's what's happening now, and I don't know how to stop representatives from doing what they're doing, and I'm trying to explain it to them one at a time, but there's a few thousand of them, and I don't understand why they don't see it for themselves. So here's what happened, right? I'm sure you probably knew from talking to me before. Only from talking to me, you wouldn't have looked anywhere else, but
Right.
about 4
Well,
years
you
ago.
are my main source of any news.
I'm sure I am. But about 4 years ago, Avon Products Incorporated sold the U.S. business to Cerberus, an investment firm. A year after that, they resold it to LG. So the
Right.
United States or North America business is owned by LG from North America. I mean, LG from Korea,
Right.
South Korea. Anyway, Avon Products Incorporated, or the company that owns them, that is not us. It's not us anymore.
Right.
They filed bankruptcy.
They went bankrupt. I saw that in the news.
Yeah, against because they're facing a lawsuit, so they're just trying to get protected against it.
Yeah.
But representatives are not just finding out what that means and then saving that in their pocket for if they get asked, and then telling a customer or team member, "Oh yeah, that's not us," which is what I'm doing. They're posting it. They're posting the original article on their wall, some of them, and putting, "What does this mean?" for customers and public to see. They're all they're putting stuff like that, and then I saw even somebody make a flyer to staple to her brochures to tell all her customers about it, even though it's not even about us.
Yeah.
I don't
My only
understand.
advice. Yeah. My advice in a world like that would be I mean, if it's out in the public that they've gone bankrupt, I would just get in front of it and say, uh, you mentioned this. It has nothing to do with Avon, the company. We're not owned by Avon, whatever their
Right, but
official name
why,
is anymore.
but their thinking, like you just said, is get out in front of it and post it ahead of someone asking them. What
Right.
I'm saying to do is not to do that because,
Okay.
like, if you're a customer at Target, right?
Yep.
You're a customer at Target. Do you know
Oh,
all the
no.
inner workings? Do you? Well, okay. Pick a company you are a customer at. Okay,
Uh,
let's just
you
go
know,
ahead.
Specs. It's a local liquor company down here.
Okay, let's just say you're a customer at Specs, local liquor company. Do you know all the inner workings at corporate at their no. Do you care about any inner workings at
No.
corporate? No. You want your stuff. You want to go in there, buy your stuff, and go home and
Right.
drink your stuff, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
the same thing at Target, the same thing at Avon. Your customers do not care about the inner workings at corporate. And in fact, this isn't even about our inner workings at corporate.
Right.
This announcement didn't even affect us.
Right.
So I know the information. So if a customer happens to say something, but the reality of the situation is 99.9% of the customers do not even know we're owned by LG. So why
Right.
would this information be relevant to them? They still can buy
Well,
their stuff from me.
yeah.
Only the
And
ones that see it and ask me are the ones I'm telling.
yeah, well, and there's nothing wrong with that, not at all. The other side of the coin that I have always kind of side, I guess, thought about was sometimes just saying, that's not us anymore. That we're actually owned by LG and moving on. I mean, just that kind of mentality, making light of it a little bit. But I think your way of doing it when you're asked is perfectly fine too.
Well, I
Because
think
one
the
way,
thing
if you're not careful, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Like I think Peg just quoted there.
well,
Uh,
this
but
one representative that proved my point actually. She posted it on her public Facebook wall, the
mhm,
original press release that doesn't in the headline doesn't make it clear that it's not the US.
right,
She put this big explanation that you had to actually hit more to read, which
right,
most people won't do. So they didn't know the
yeah,
article was wrong.
yep.
And then she was complaining in a reps only group, my reps only group, that she's sick of putting out fires like this that corporates start. And I'm
Corporate
like,
didn't start that fire.
she did. She started. She's having to put out a fire she herself started. She wouldn't even get people to know about it if she hadn't posted that. Most of her
Yeah,
customers do not research the companies that they're buying from. At least not mine don't. I
right.
don't as a customer. I
Well,
just think it's better. I don't know why point it out. I just don't get it. I don't
I'm
get
one of
it.
those guys like what, as a teenager, if I got a great big zit on my forehead, I
You point
wouldn't
it
kind
out.
of hide it. I'd go and say, "Hey, you see this zit on my forehead?" That's just, but that's me, and that's not necessarily a good way to do this. By the way, we need to say hi to some folks. Hi, Eunice, Peg. Hi, Annette, Diane,
Miss Kim.
and Kim and Annette. There you go.
Hey, Annette.
We'll
And
catch up on some
Diane.
more of them in a minute.
Um, Yeah, I realize we all don't have the same strategy. I guess I wish I understood the strategy of telling everybody, standing on top of the mountain and telling everybody the news that isn't about us.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
mean, I
It's
understand,
confusing
but
enough. Yeah,
yeah.
because it was
Uh,
1 day cycle. So if your customer happened to catch it yesterday, because now's a new day, it hasn't been on anything because news comes so fast now that unless they happen to catch it yesterday,
right.
they're probably not even going to see it, and they probably didn't catch it then.
Probably
So
not.
yeah, I don't know. That's my thing today. And you know what's funny is this one that was texting me that I was saying it was making me a little crazy. She actually texted me a couple days ago. The same rep. Uh, that's how I found out about the article. She texted me and
Right.
said I was going to meet up with you in Boston, but now I'm not going to because the company filed for bankruptcy, and I'm not going. And I'm like, that isn't even about us. Why wouldn't you go?
Right.
So
It's
she,
people like that are exactly why my mentality about sometimes getting ahead and saying, look, if you've heard this, it has nothing to do with what we do. We haven't been owned by Avon, whatever, and forever, but it's for people like that that just catch. that and totally misinterpret it. That's kind of the way that I end up settling into what I do. But I think you're perfectly fine. If it comes up, you address it. Like to her when you text her back and say, then you're making a mistake because it wasn't our company that went bankrupt. We're owned by LG.
Oh, no,
So,
I did. I said, "Gee, I'm surprised that you would cancel over something that wasn't even about us." So
yep.
I don't
Why would you
know.
cancel because some other company went bankrupt? Oh,
Well, and anymore, bankrupt doesn't mean closed.
that's exactly right.
Bankruptcy
Bankruptcy
usually
means
means they're
protection.
protecting themselves against an attack, and that's what that case is actually is that whole, excuse me, the talc thing from years ago. So it's
Yep.
not anything to do with the current owners, excuse me,
Yep.
or the current situation. It's from something that happened 25 years ago or whatever.
Yep.
So anyway,
Well, hi,
that's
hi, Linda, and hi, Teresa. Glad you joined
Linda
us.
says, I hear you, Lisa. I got a few DMs, and one lady asked what makes me sure our Avon aren't going to be sued next. Because I think what reassures me, Linda, is that it's about the talc thing. And Avon, even Avon Products Incorporated stopped selling talc 25 years ago. Well, you yourself, if you've sold Avon that long, Linda, you know we haven't had the fragrance talcs or anything for years and years. And any powder that we sell that's included in the makeup is commercial grade that all the other cosmetic companies use. So they're
Yep.
not going to come after them for that. So it's
Yep.
going to be that old thing.
Yep.
And truthfully, companies have lawsuits against them all the time.
Yep.
So that's not necessarily a deal breaker anyway.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
Avon, as long as I've been associated with Avon and following the stock, they have had lawsuits pending
Oh,
about one thing or
every company
another.
out there
Every
does.
company
It
does.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter
all the
what
big
the
ones.
doesn't matter what the
Yeah.
company is. They've got lawsuits. Hi, Brooks.
Yeah. So that doesn't mean the company's in bad shape or that they're imminent closing or anything like that. Lawsuits don't mean that,
Yep.
especially not anymore. People sue for all
True.
kind of stuff. So to me, I do find out the information, and I know, like I knew that LG owned us and that we weren't part of Avon Products Incorporated, but I don't talk about it out in the general public, not on my Facebook wall, because chances are the people reading my wall do not want that much information
Right.
rep
I get
for.
it. Yep.
Linda said, thank you for clarifying. So business as usual. Absolutely. Yeah, matter of
Absolutely.
fact, to me, it would always be business as usual unless I couldn't get in my account or somebody said we are done in the U.S. or something. That would have to be. I'm not going to preemptively stop doing business, for any reason. Not certainly not one that
Right.
I interpreted. Brooke says you look pretty. Thank you, Brooke. I'm going to see you Tuesday night. I'm going down to Pat's house from here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That cannot be good. Brooke, get over to Pat's house. Stop this now. Stop
Oh
them.
no,
Stop
Brooke's
them.
going. Are you kidding?
Oh.
She's in on it. She's in on it. Brooke
Oh.
says, yes. Yeah, we're going to, Brooke made the reservation. We're going to Fire and Ice on Thursday night. I think it is, to that restaurant, a whole bunch of us.
Oh, that'll
Yeah,
be
and
fun.
I was being a wiener though, a wiener.
Weenie.
That is a weenie.
Yeah.
That didn't sound good because Brooke's like, you want to go out to dinner with a bunch of us? And I'm like, only if I don't have to walk. I'm like, I don't want to walk. Yeah.
Oh, I
So,
wish I was going to be up there with you guys because you guys have so much fun when you all get together.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And
Yeah, and
it's only 95 degrees at 6:15 and beautiful, sweaty, sunny Texas. So we got 95 degrees and about
oh,
a million percent humidity. So
wait till you see the pictures from the convention, because I've got I found these that the kid had when the kid was younger. They're fur puffballs
right.
on a headband, and I
Mhm.
painted them blue with the hair paint. So I got blue puffballs, and I've got blue star glasses. And
Hey,
even though I can't see out of good, I'm going to wear them anyway.
do I need to get you some books shipped up there so you can sell books if you want to, just for people, or not to worry about that?
I can anyway. Corporate doesn't allow it, and I'm not getting kicked out. Yeah, over
Yeah. Okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
but
move
thank
on.
you. Yeah, thank you. I do
Uh,
have the card with me that they can scan, and I'm giving out wristbands, and I can't actually give a wristband without someone asking me for it. So if you're
Yeah.
listening to this or going to Boston and want a wristband, I'm going to have them on my purse on one of those hooks, and
Yeah.
just come up and say, can I have one of those? And I'll give you one. Because if I'm the one that initiates it, I could get my hand slapped
Well,
again.
for those of you that are watching this show, should you decide to get your copy of Said the Lady with the Blue Hair on your own before you go up there, I'm sure Lisa would find time to sign
Oh,
it.
yes. Oh, bring them. Yeah. Because, yeah, that regularly happens as well as View from the Top or any
Yeah.
of the other books.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Annette,
Oh,
I'll answer your question. I'm actually right now at my ranch, which is about halfway between Houston and Austin, Texas. It's in a little town nobody would ever know. It's called Ledbetter, Texas. It's not in a town actually. I'm 18 miles from the nearest daylight. All right, how's that sound? No, but but it's way out in the middle of nowhere. And that's why my internet connection tonight is kind of spotty because I'm at the ranch. I also we have a place in Spring, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston on the north side. And Lisa Williams, thank you for your kind comment. I wish I was going too. Lisa's so funny. Lisa fits into the Lisa category pretty well. I've watched her post. She's pretty funny about
Brooke said something naughty. I mean, well, I took
that.
it naughty.
Oh,
The headband, she said furry blue balls.
now Brooke, don't encourage Lisa to act up and get my blushometer going. All right, don't do that.
The blushometer. Oh, and that's in San Antonio. Oh, that
Oh,
must have
that's
been
where I
fun
first
when
met
we were
Lisa.
down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were just down there, Annette. And what is that, 2 years ago? Jeff was there. That's where I met
yeah.
Jeff for the first time in San Antonio.
I drove down and we had
Yes.
lunch. We were already working on the book, but that was the first time we actually got to meet in person. It's so funny.
Oh,
We
God.
you and I are tight friends. We've had a friendship now for years, and we've only met in person twice.
Oh,
Isn't
and
that
and
funny?
let me tell you all, if you've been following along, you've heard this already, but I still want to tell it because it's hilarious. When I met you there for breakfast, um, yeah, I didn't know how your laugh was so good. And any little laugh, and I keep going, right? So I'm like, oh my God, he's such a good laugher. I'm good. So I was like saying totally random stuff that was way too much information.
God, you wanted to make me embarrassed to make me laugh.
I
It
wanted to
worked.
make you laugh. I'm like, man, I'm gonna say more of that. He's laughing. I'm going for it, right? So it was funny. But we were sitting in that restaurant having breakfast. That was pretty funny.
Yep.
So yes,
That was a good time.
indeedy.
And everybody that we walked around, and this was before the book came out because you were already really, really well known. And everybody that came out was, oh, hi, Lisa, hi, Lisa, hi, Lisa. So much fun.
Well, and that I was late a day for that one. I was stuck in
That's right.
Atlanta overnight. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just thinking back positively about that because that was one of the first trips when I realized, believe it or not, I realized in Atlanta there was about 8 planes that got canceled and 8 plane loads of people were
Yeah.
standing in line trying to get rebooked at the counter. And I stood
Yeah.
there for a few minutes and I thought to myself, why am I standing here? Because I'm obviously not getting out today. It was already late in the afternoon. So I'm obviously going to have to either sleep on the floor here, no, or go to a hotel anyway. So I'll just go to the hotel now and then I'll call in and get rebooked. And that's
Yeah.
what I ended up doing. And um, some people said, well, you would have got here the next day if you'd have stayed there. I don't think so. There were hundreds of people in front of me.
Yeah.
No,
That was
all
a
I would have
weird
been
day. I
is
remember that.
aggravated.
Yeah.
Right?
Brooke posted a comment and says, Jeff, come to Mass. Brooke, I'm not Catholic.
No.
But
Yeah, Massachusetts, right? You know,
yeah,
one of the what is it? I think it's the governor candidate up here. We don't like Massachusetts up here. New Hampshire people don't like Massachusetts. Matter of fact, I'm from Massachusetts originally, and I try to hide that at every possible because they, you know, what we call people from Massachusetts in New Hampshire
uh-uh.
massholes.
Janet.
So the candidate for governor is putting on her sign. She's got these big giant signs, Kelly, and it says, "Don't mass up, New Hampshire. Don't mass instead of mess up, mass up."
Uh-huh.
Don't make New Hampshire into Massachusetts, in other words, because we all hate Massachusetts. Not as much as
She,
we hate Vermont, but close.
Brooke says she's the number one masshole.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Lisa says, "Hey now."
Lisa,
Yeah,
are
I
you a
know.
masshole?
I've lived up here now almost 30 years, and I'm still from they in town, they still think I'm from, they say, "Oh yeah, you're from Massachusetts." They don't, you're not from here unless you were born here, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the size of that. But
Yeah, I'm going to do a book with a friend of ours. That I don't know if you and she have ever met, but she loves the Blue Hair book, and she's watched our show several times. She used to be on Fox Business News very often. A lady named Susan Solovic, and she
oh,
and I decided we're going to do a book together.
oh,
And
awesome. I didn't know
she
that
she's
was a go. Last time I
uh,
heard that wasn't a go yet.
yeah, it's
It's a
a go
go?
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
we
awesome.
discussed it this week. We're going to do that,
Oh, that's
and then
fabulous.
I'm actually probably going to work in a second book at the same time. I
She's
just
got a new puppy.
She does. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
She's one of the
her little
nicest
dog is
people.
cute.
Oh, somebody, who was it here? Oh, Janet. I don't know if you saw it earlier. Janet posted a picture, and I think it was of her daughter. Anyway, it was a
Oh,
congratulations thing. I don't remember if she was going to college or whatever, but her daughter is just as cute as she can be, or the girl in
Janet
the picture.
Leonard, yes. And Janet's daughter and Alex are within days of each other's age.
Okay.
They're the same age within days of each other.
Did y'all
Isn't that
plan that?
funny? No, did we plan that? We didn't know each other. Well, although we knew each other, I think the kids were maybe 4 or 5. We
Okay.
met when the kids were young. 10 days. Yeah, Janet said 10 days. I thought it was even closer than that, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
right close. It's close. So
Janet, your
that.
daughter is just beautiful. She just, you could tell that she's a sweet lady.
Oh, both of them. Both of them are knockouts. I think I'd be having a heart attack if I were her, because they both are right. They must have guys lining up. That would, yeah.
Well, that's like my daughters. They were just so beautiful, and of course, the girls at that age when they're teenagers in high school and going into college, they walk around and everybody chases, and I, I I may have told you this before, but my best friend's a guy named Brian up in the North Texas area, and he's got 2 boys. And I said, "You think it's harder to raise boys or girls?" He said, "It's much harder to raise girls." He said, "I got 2 boys, which means I got to worry about 2 boys. You got 2 beautiful daughters. You got to worry about every boy out there."
Well, that's true.
It is true. It is
That's
true.
kind of true. That's kind of true. Well, I did want to talk a little bit of business, if you don't mind. Ooh, my
Okay, let's
nose
do it.
itches. Just the same rule I always talk about. This is because it fits every part of my life, and it's so funny. You can be successful at anything if enough people know what you do. And right now, I'm working on the community theater, and it's funny because I've said that rule a bunch of times. They kid me just like they do at work about having rules.
Right.
Right. And now I say rules even because it gets me what I want accomplished. I
No, it's a rule. You have to.
That's a rule, right? Well, so the rule lately was the binders, the script binder, right? The
Right.
binder has the person's name and the character they play. This happens to be my binder, so it says Lisa Wilber, the blue-haired producer, right?
I
So
love it.
the procedure is that you can't get into the first read or any read unless you have your binder. And I've taken your picture with your binder because
Right.
then I have your face and your name in the same picture.
And it's a
And
rule.
then it's a rule, right? So it's just funny because they kid me about that, and I use it to my advantage. So I know you probably are used to the presumptive close.
Mhm.
Well, when we don't have a cast member, you know how I did that to Kenny, the director. But this year we had an open spot. We needed a middle-aged man to play somebody in the 1700s. So,
Oh,
right.
I'm no longer middle aged unless I'm going to be 120. Unless I'm going to live to be 130, I'm no longer middle aged.
Well, Liz showed up to get, she was in last year's play. She showed up to get her binder, and her husband, Mike, was out in the truck. And I said to Liz, you know, Mike would be perfect for this. He looks the part. He's got this big beard and everything. I said, he'd be great for this. She said, oh, no, I've talked to him a bunch of stuff about this, and he's just not into this. And I hadn't even met him yet. And I said to her, mind if I go take a run at him? So I go out there, and I hadn't met him or nothing. He's in a big pickup truck, one of those high ones. I stand out there next to the truck, and hey, Mike, how you doing? My name is Lisa Wilber. And I said, this is all I said. I said, do you think you could do me a favor? And he said, what? I said, next Sunday, I got the first read for this play, and I'm missing a Moses Follansby. And I said, if you could just read the Moses Follansby part on Sunday, you'd be doing me a really big favor. So he says, you know what? I could do that favor for you. So he came, he came on Sunday, and I had his binder. And I said,
to become a star.
I said, here's your binder. And I said, let me take your picture, because you can't get into the first read without that. That's a rule. You can't, right? So you can't get into the first read without your binder.
Right.
So I wasn't sure he was going to just go along with my presumptive close there. But after the read, he did a really good job, by the way. He's only got a few lines. It's small.
Right.
He came out and he stopped and said to me, I'm going to do a good job for you. And I'm like, yes. Oh, he's going to like it, though. I think it's going to be fun. His wife's in it. Yeah. But anyway, just to seal the deal, I sent him a thank you note with send-out cards, a send-out card with his picture holding the binder on the front of the card. And his wife messaged me and said they were very excited to get that. So she posted it on Facebook and was telling their family and everything, and he's in the play. So I think sometimes he would have been in it. I think he just needed a little, if he really didn't know
he'd be comfortable. And then when he got in there, he realized he was moderately comfortable. So
well, and there's 35 people, so it's not, you know what I mean? Should have told him.
You should have told him a good boy.
Oh, Lisa, you sound like his Bib. Lisa Williams knows Bib because he says that all the time. He's like, dogs and men are the same. This is Lee Bib, Molly's husband. Right. Dogs and men are the same, Bib says. If you want them to do something, you got to pull them up by the face and look them right in the eye. And you got to either tell them they're a good boy and they'll repeat what you told them, or tell them they're a bad boy and they won't ever do it again. He was like right, though. That worked on the dog. Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that's worked on me. Wait a minute. Let me think this out.
You're like, wait a minute.
So if she starts treating me like a dog, it would backfire, and I'm not going to say how.
Well, I didn't think it would work on the dog because it's a dog, He said, no, you grab the dog. Because the dog went to the bathroom in the house. He said, you grab the dog, you walk over to the poop, you show the poop to the dog. You don't have to put his nose there or nothing like that, because you're taking the dog's face and you get it right in your face. You get it right in your face. And this is what Bib said, right in your face. And you tell him he's a bad boy. They don't like that. He said, just like men don't like that. That's what Bib was saying. Men don't like it either.
It reminds me of a joke I've heard, and it's slightly over probably the line I should cross on a live show like this. I don't know if I should
Here we go.
Here we go again.
I got the blush for me to go right ahead.
Right. Well, I'm going to clean it up because it's not as clean as what I'm going to tell it. So
okay.
But a couple of little boys were riding around in a red wagon, and they had their dog out front, and they had tied the dog to the wagon, and it was like a little horse and wagon kind of thing, and they were going really fast. And a man in the neighborhood said, "Stop that!" and stopped them. Says, "Boys, no, don't do that. That's abusing that dog. And take that rope off his whoo-hoo."
Oh.
And the boys looked at each other and said, "Do you know what that is?" And he said, "But maybe it's the emergency brake." I have lost connection. Are you still there? You think he means the emergency brake?
The emergency brake. Is that the same on dogs and men too?
Never tried it, never will.
Oh, here we go. All righty. Oh, that's nice. So
we're at 30 minutes.
Oh, yes.
I probably will regret telling it.
Oh, my
I'll
goodness.
be listening to the replay on this, and I'll be going, "Oh, I wish I'd said that."
I'm going to come up with a graphic about the emergency brake thing. But anyway,
You think he means the emergency brake?
we have a scheduling thing, our regularly scheduled program. Lisa says, and back to our regularly scheduled program. We have a scheduling thing here. And plus, I wanted to let you know when the last show was. So we have the next 2 weeks we're not going to be here. And
Right.
I'm going to be at the Avon Convention next Thursday. And the next week after that, I'm going to be traveling because we're going to Great Wolf Lodge. Woo! No. Oh. Oh, okay. And then September 5th, we will be. The 12th, we will be. And the 19th is the last show. So we've got 3 shows left. So you don't want to miss these 3. Go ahead.
What songs are we going to do at the last show? We'll do that Carol Burnett show. I'm so glad we had this time together.
I think you definitely should sing something.
Ooh, I might have to work something up for that.
Yeah. Or
That's
do like
before we go to Florida for the Sales Wise Live thing. So.
The greatest hits from what you've sang so far. You could do that. Because the hat one, I like that one. That was good.
Was that the Frosty the Blues Man? I think that was Christmas singer, Frosty the Blues Man.
Yes. Yeah, that's like my favorite. Although no, I know the Garth one's my favorite.
The Garth Brooks one is your favorite.
Yeah, the one where you have to do the roll thing. That's
I don't know. I'm all dead.
Lisa Williams says jazz hands because I do that all the time on Team Time Tuesday. Jazz hands. Okay. Oh, Peg likes the emergency brake thing. Yeah. See, you're going to hear that from Peg. Yeah. Awesome. Well, okay. We're at 7:30 and I'm going to get going because I got to immediately go to sleep because I'm driving to Yonkers tomorrow. Well, thank you very much for your time, sir.
No emergency brakes. Huh?
Oh no, we don't have no stopping at all. We don't want no brakes, no stopping, no nothing. No.
All right, in time, in the show.
There you go.
Bye, everybody. We love you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, I'm going to regret that I told that.